Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's November 5th, 2023. And so I've been back from what I described as an energy vortex for just over 7 days now. But in all of that time, or in all of that very short amount of time, I should say, the weight that I had lost and the health that I had gained has been eroded. And I started out this clip showing my weight. I'll try to, I guess, document in the description what days those weights were recorded on. But the fact is that when I weighed 253.8, I was feeling pretty unhealthy, and I was struggling to do even one complete pull-up. And I definitely didn't have any upper body power to do a push-up, and it was challenging to run a mile, even though I'd been running regularly for well over half a year now. And I tried to explain to some of my close relatives, especially in a recent group message sent to some of the people, including the fathers in the group, who I thought would at least have a conversation with me. But as usual, I was not surprised in that I didn't get any kind of response from any of them, because the topics I'm talking about must be too perplexing, for many people to think about. In fact, I also had recently written to some of my elders, and that was one of my more recent videos where I addressed people by the imaginary names John and Edith, and I requested their assistance in terms of re-establishing fellowship with one of the characters whose names have been made up to protect the guilty or the innocent. And during that brief amount of time from when I've returned back and pointed out that, we should be able to understand one another, and that I'm showing evidence, maybe not scientifically, as far as what's going on. During that brief amount of time, I regained all of that weight back, so over 13 pounds. But more interestingly is how much more difficult it got for me to even attempt to do a chin-up. Whereas when I first returned back from the Big Bend National Park, I was able to dead hang on a bar for 40 seconds. And that was without having tried for the entire previous week while I was reestablishing my health. And now I can barely hold on to a bar for maybe 5 seconds. And I'm guesstimating because I basically had attempted to do a pull-up. I couldn't do it. And also just basically that one effort to try and do that over the past few days now, unsuccessfully, has caused me a tremendous amount of back strain, where I feel spasms. I'm definitely not able to easily get out and run a mile again. There are things that have reverted in such a way that one might almost call these things supernatural. And so for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to provide an update, especially for the people who had reached out previously saying, hey, we need to get together, or I'm, thinking about you, or this, that, and the other. I don't know what I'll be up to as far as getting out and about, but I know for a fact that I will do everything I can to avoid being in any area where someone can predict my location and leverage any kind of mojo on me. With a direct fixated focus of the effort that it takes to rain down negative energy on someone like me, who is simply asking to further a conversation, particularly among our fathers, but also among our mothers, grandmothers at that, who have, for whatever reason, turned their back on actually getting together to share a concerted effort of prayer and hope So while I continue to shoulder all of the ill effects that have continuously come my way, I'll have to tell you that despite these efforts, I still have, I have received checks that I was expecting. I have had a lot of my broken goods restored by the manufacturers under manufacturer's warranty. And despite the delays, I am still functioning enough to give thanks every morning for being able to wake up and to gratefully accept this challenge where I can showcase it doesn't matter what I do for 30 days, 100 days, 30 years. What does matter is that I'm probably at my maximum when it comes to helping to absorb negative energy. And that's why, again, I'll throw the question back into your court and say, for anyone who has trouble understanding what I'm saying, maybe you haven't listened. We have received more ears than the voice apparatus that we have. So maybe we're supposed to listen twice as much and talk only half as much. I didn't used to talk in the past, and perhaps talking about these things has gotten me into some, not necessarily trouble, some of the ways of obstacles. And the thing that I've heard, the way that I've heard it said is, when you're doing well, when you're on the right path, you will be presented with a lot of obstacles, because the last thing the devil wants you to do is to succeed on that path. So there will be obstacles to trip me up, and all I can say is that prayer and fasting, no matter where I'm at, seem to be the ideal solution. But also with the majority of people not knowing where I'm at, in other words, if I operate in silence, like a lot of people say, then perhaps I can do better. My heart is in this in a way where it's like, I know that the Ediths and Johns of the world can hear exactly what I'm asking for. And I know that they can reciprocate positive energy. And I believe in our fathers. And so I hope that you are enjoying this journey. But I also want you to know that there will be challenges. And I wanted to show it to you firsthand from a person who's going through some quote unquote supernatural circumstances and recognizing them aloud, because it is allowed. It's allowed to talk about. It's allowed for us to discuss these things. And until we acknowledge that there is an issue, we can't really move past that issue at all. So I hope you're doing great. I hope that you haven't found yourself the target of hostility. And I hope that you're doing exceptionally great. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff. Thought I'd ride for Jesus, or maybe just for God.
I wonder if they all see us, or if they all forgot. My dog looks up from his napping. I see the love in his eyes, while they play songs for the clapping. I write these songs for you guys. I wonder if he could hear us, if we said less than before, and if we fell into silence, would he come knock on the door? My dog looks up from his napping. I see the love in his eyes, while they play songs for the clapping. I write these songs for you guys. I don't wanna be left behind. Would you please bring me along tonight in case I wonder if he'd speak with us, if only we'd understand. I look over, I see Jesus. I'd go to hold his hand. My dog looks up from his napping. I see the love in his eyes, while they play songs for the clapping. I write these songs for you guys. I don't wanna be left behind. Won't you please bring me along tonight in case I die? In case I die.